isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, it'll say, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s.
I think you need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about prime for being president?
What the facts are. Google it.
Just Google it. That was CNN's Don Lemon in hot water after making those shocking comments in response to Nikki Haley's remarks that some current politicians are past their prime. In a leaked apology today that Lemon was reportedly forced to give to CNN staffers despite being on vacation, he said this, quote, "I'm sorry that I said it, and I certainly see why people found it completely misguided. When I make a mistake, I own it, and I own this one as well." All right, well, will he be let off the hook that easily? Let's ask today's company, Republican strategist, columnist for townhall.com, and Turning Point USA contributor, Erin Elmore, and senior policy analyst at the Independent Women's Forum, Carrie Sheffield. Two women who are, I would say, in their prime, ladies. Great to have you with us. I mean, the funny thing is now, Erin, if you look up, if you just Google, which Don Lemon was telling you to, Sean, do it right now, and you Google woman in their prime, it actually Don Lemon is what comes up.
Yeah, Don Lemon.
Which is hilarious because you have a homosexual man trying to tell women what their prime is and what it isn't. And I love Bobby Harlow's response because it's like, what are you talking about prime? You would never ask a guy this running for president. Is he in his prime when he's 51 years old, Erin?
Well, is Joe Biden in his prime at 80? I think not. Nikki Haley is 50 years old. And basically, Don Lemon goes on CNN every day. He was so sanctimonious. He's always talking about the shortcomings of President Trump. And then he talks like this. Enough. Don Lemon has shown us exactly who he is. He is a misogynist. He is someone who doesn't care for women. And this is a big, huge slight to a woman just because she is a Republican. And he wasn't off today. Let's face it. They made him sit this one out and take the day off before they decide exactly what to do with him, because he is not in his prime. Although some days I don't feel like I am. That should not be the judge of whether or not you are capable of being president. As we know, it didn't matter for Joe Biden.
Well, the thing is, if you look at this, Carrie, prime is such a relative term. And Poppy Harlow calls this out. Is this prime of childbearing? Is this prime of your career? I mean, ultimately, if you look at Nikki Haley, she is in the prime of her career. So this is totally misguided. But I think his apology, using that word, it's like, I can see this was maybe misguided. Is he going to get off that easy? Apparently, he was forced to apologize.
Flat out wrong. You have no idea what you're saying. And Caitlin Collins just sat there silent.
They might have been in shock.
I found, like, I was like, holy smokes, for all the pushback that they give politicians to sit there and let him do that. But Erin, I do want to pivot because there was an exchange yesterday that was kind of personal to me. The president gave a bunch of speeches. He wasn't really going to take any questions. And the New York Post's Steve Nelson engaged with him like this.
There's been criticism that you're still trying to compromise by your family's business relationships.
Sir, Mr. President, there has
give
been
me a break, man.
Did you overreact?
Mr. President, there has been criticism that this was an overreaction that was done because of political pressure.
You come to my office and ask a question when you have more polite people.
Okay, so just so we're clear, he's finished making these remarks. He wasn't going to take any questions. Reporters are shouting out things they want answered because he refuses to answer anything of significance. And so this one reporter is asking about these conflicts of interest. Peter Alexander of NBC asked him about some of the other stuff. He says, come to my office because these other people aren't polite. Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't remember the polite folks during the 4 years of the Trump administration. After that exchange, Steve Nelson, the reporter from the Post, got apparently, according to Politico, a dressing down from Jeff Mason, the former president of the White House Correspondents Association, as well as from Tamara Keith, the current president. I want to play you just some idea of the decorum that they didn't have a problem with under President Trump.
That's one other question, Mr. President. If I may ask Peter, one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned about anything with the
Russian
investigation because it's a hoax.
Are you?
That's enough. Put down the mic.
All right, Erin, it's funny. I don't remember any of those same reporters being outraged And that was just one clip. I'm sure I could find one a day between the press secretaries and the president.
You know, there's a complete double standard. And I feel like every time I'm on the show, we talk about this double standard, and it still exists, and it will continue to exist. And the American people have a right to know what Hunter Biden was doing in China, in Ukraine, in Russia. The American people want these answers. And the press is sort of trying to ascertain what is going on with Joe Biden. And instead of answering our questions, instead of assuaging our concerns, he just chastises, once again, says, come on, man, which has become almost a joke to the American people. We don't get a straight answer. And according to this press corps, we're not entitled to one. But if it was President Trump, this would be absolutely no problem.
Well, yeah, no.
Carrie, I got 20 seconds left. I just can't believe that no one cared about decorum for 4 years, and now suddenly this is a big thing.
Sean, they need to completely revamp who is allowed to credential in the White House Correspondents Association.
Carrie, Erin, both of you, please stick around. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says President Biden has a very grueling schedule. And if you think that's grueling, wait till you see the questions that are ready for the company quiz. That's next. Stay tuned. Well, a big happy birthday to the GOAT of basketball, Michael Jordan. Today, he's celebrating his 60th birthday. The last time Jordan won an NBA championship was 1998, when he was still in his prime. But don't tell Don Lemon that. Here to play the company quiz, 3 women that Don says are in their prime, defending champion Carrie Sheffield, who's being challenged by Erin Elmore, and of course, Lindsay Keith, always in her prime.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. That. Very welcome.
You know, Sean, his party, Jordan's party is this weekend in my hometown here in Florida of Jupiter. It's going to be at his golf club.
I know, I'll be there. I didn't want to say anything. Yeah, I'm going to be there, and I thought it was. I know I didn't see you on the list, and I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. So
if I get a +1, I invited you to my Super Bowl party.
+1. That's why he's not.
Michael asked me not to make a big deal out of it, and I promised I wouldn't. So, all right, enough talk. I still got to go get an outfit for it. Anyway, question 1: former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley became the first candidate to challenge Donald Trump for the Republican nomination for president when she announced her run earlier this week. After making her announcement on Twitter on Valentine's Day, Haley held a rally in Charleston, South Carolina, the next day. Many anticipate, though, that South Carolina Senator Tim Scott will eventually throw his hat in the ring as well. Who is the only American president born in South Carolina? A, Andrew Jackson, B, Zachary Taylor, C, James Polk, or D, Andrew Johnson? Lindsay, really quick with the letters. Either she's cheating or she knew her history. Everybody's up with an A. Everybody knows their history. Woo. That's right. It was Andrew Johnson. Quick show of hands. How many of you just guessed A because it was the first question? And how many of you knew?
I used to live in South Carolina.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody on the board at 1. Yesterday, when asked if President Biden would be up for the job if he wins re-election, considering he'd be 86 at the end of his second term, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said that Biden has a grueling schedule that he keeps up with. The only thing that Biden had on that grueling schedule today was his daily briefing. Speaking of stressful jobs, though, which one of these is considered the most stressful job in 2023? A, air traffic controller, B, a steel or iron worker, C, a nurse, or D, a TV news anchor?
Wow. I might want to pick D just for fun, but we have the best job ever, Sean.
Yep.
So
we've got 2 Bs, and Lindsay goes with a C. She believes that, interestingly enough, she believes that it's a nurse. Well, a very challenging job, and I would actually agree with that. It is, in fact, B, steel and iron worker. Yeah. All right, question 3 with Erin and Carrie both up 2-1 over Lindsay. On Thursday, President Biden told reporters the 3 objects shot out of the sky last weekend were likely connected to a private company or research institution. Back on Monday, after Pentagon officials said there was no indication of aliens in the takedowns, once again, Karine Jean-Pierre let the press corps know that she does love the movie E.T. Who directed that classic 1980s film? A, Robert Zemeckis, B, Tim Burton, C, James Cameron, D, Steven Spielberg. Now, interestingly, Lindsay up with a question, with a letter quick. which is odd considering her lack of pop culture movies. And
I think I know this one, actually.
Okay, all right. Well, everybody got a D. Everybody is correct. Woo! That puts the challengers or the two visitors up 3-2. That's right. Steven Spielberg did direct E.T. Question 4. Here we go. According to reports, lawmakers in California are considering a bill that would prevent police from using canines in situations where they could bite a suspect. The bill would make it illegal for cops to use police dogs in arrests and crowd control, and would only allow dogs to be used to sniff out bombs, drugs, and other activities that don't allow biting. Which of these cartoon dogs, though, was known for saying, "Take a bite out of crime"? Was it A, Droopy McPoodle, B, Brian Griffin, C, McGruff, or D, Underdog? Wow, once again, all three of you coming on strong. Interestingly, both Carrie and Erin are 4 for 4. Lindsay, 3 for 4. Not bad.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
not bad. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, McGruff.
Here we go. This is a big deal. Yeah, McGruff was the big winner there. Cartoon dog used in a series of public service announcements with personal safety tips for us all. This question 5, though, is big. You need both of those ladies to get it wrong if you want to stay in your prime, Lindsay. Yesterday, KFC announced that it was simplifying its menu and getting rid of 5 items. The restaurant chain wanted to make ordering easier and help workers operate more efficiently. Among the menu items getting tossed are popcorn chicken and chocolate chip cookies. What kind of business, though, did KFC start out as? A, a soda shop, B, a gas station, C, a milk delivery, or D, a newsstand?
Ooh.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. You got to know your history on this one.
Ooh.
Two.
All right. I want to see a letter up there. We've got an A, a B, and a B. No one had the C.
What?
But you did have those 2 B's, Lindsay and Carrie.
Yes.
That's right. In 1930, Colonel Sanders started selling food to hungry travelers out of a Shell filling station he owned in Kentucky. Harry Sheffield is our champion. Dethroning. Yes, this is a big deal. Congratulations, Carrie. You're well on your way of getting this very, very important Spicer and Company mug. If you can win 3.
I drink out of it every day on this show.
Anyway, Carrie, Erin, thank you both for trying hard. Erin, continued success to you. I will give you a call from Michael's party this weekend down there in Tucson.
To see you.
Sean,
Have a great weekend, both of you.
Maroon 5 is performing.
as a Utah Jazz fan, I will forever despise him for coming out of retirement and screwing them over again. So I will never go to a Michael Jordan party. So you can tell him that as a Jazz fan.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
I mean, I'm going partially because of Jordan, and then Adam Levine of Maroon 5 also asked. So anyway,
Congrats, Karen.
see you guys both. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right. More.